This altar was made by our parishioner David Nylet. He did a beautiful job on it, and he was the chairman of our building committee. He also made many other things. This here is the Ark of the Covenant Tabernacle, and this was made by Blue Dubasan, one of our parishioners, and the bottom was made by the same man that made the altar, David Nylet. This here is the credence table, and this was made by the man that made the Ark of the Covenant, Blue Dubasan. This here and the missal stand, this is the gospel stand, the missal stand was made by Elroy Bishop. And over here we have the ambo, and the ambo was made by David Nylet. And above the tabernacle we have the painting of the Last Supper. This was done by one of our parishioners, George Newton, and he got 12 parishioners to dress up in costumes. He took pictures of them, and then from the photos he painted them. And he found Jesus on the golf course in Alabama. He was playing golf and he saw a man that thought would make a good Jesus, and he asked him if he would pose for Jesus for his painting. So this was done by our parishioner. It's biblically accurate. This is John, the beloved disciple, and next to him was Jesus, and after that you had Judas. Judas here is on the way out, as you can see, and Peter is at the other end of the table, and that's the way they were lined up at the Last Supper. So that's biblically accurate, not like Da Vinci's where Jesus in the middle. Turn it on. We have 50 stained glass windows in our church. They came from 3 different churches. They're over 100 years old. Some of them came from Staten Island in New York, an Augustinian monastery by the name of St. Rita's that were closed, and some of our windows came from there. They were made by George Heimer, the great German artist. And then some of our windows came from Pennsylvania, 2 places in Pennsylvania, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and Cronin, Pennsylvania. And we also have the Stations of the Cross. And the Stations of the Cross came from St. Stanislaus Church in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, over 100 years old. And there are 12 Consecration Crosses. These Consecration Crosses were made by David Nylet, and they have an LED candle in them, so they should be burning all the time. It's beautiful. And one special feature of our stained glass windows, they're lit with LED lights. So all we have to do is flick a switch. Most churches you go into, they're a dark hole at night, but here we have a light switch that will light them up. So it's like having daylight the whole day, the whole year round and the whole day round. So it's beautiful that they can be lit up at night. This here is the baptismal font in memory of Carey Ziffel. Churches that has an elevator to the choir loft upstairs. Kitchenette for coffee and donuts or for receptions for funerals. This is the upstairs. We have bathrooms, we have offices, and we have storage up here. This is our choir loft, and it's a beautiful big choir loft, and we have 2 musical instruments. The clavinova is in memory of Floyd Landry, and the organ is in memory of Greg and Kitty Nolte, and you can show them the view from the choir loft. And show them all the chairs we have for more people to join the choir. We have plenty of room for more new choir members, so please consider joining. In this grotto, we have several things of note. We have the statue of Mary, the statue of Joseph and Jesus. We have the candelabras for people to express their intentions. And on the donor wall, we have on the floor, we have people that help with the church. We have people that donated, and we have the children's names. The children were given a little church to help us build the church, and they made contributions. So everyone who made a little contribution got their name on a small brick down there. And here we have the angels guarding the tomb. And the tomb actually was the altar that was used at Stanislaus and Bay St. Louis since 1930. And the church was recently demolished, and we got the altar. So it's here as the tomb of Jesus. On there we're going to have a replica of the Shroud of Turin, the buried cloth of Jesus. And in the front of the tomb we're going to have the crucifix. It's not up yet. And here in the tomb we have the resurrection window. It's the beautiful resurrection window. So it's basically the death, the burial, and the resurrection of Jesus is the biblical themes here. And the patron saint of our church is Saint Martin de Porres. Martin de Porres is the patron saint of biracial people, and we are a biracial parish, black and white, and very appropriate. And the relic that will be in the altar is of Saint Martin de Porres. That will be in the altar when the church is consecrated on February the 12th. So that's it. You have seen our church.